Now it's time for your news break. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Derek Brizendine with the Daily Star Journal's Newsbreak. Shane Lockard will remain the executive director of the Johnson County Central Dispatch. The 911 board voted 6-1 in favor of keeping Lockard as the executive director. Lockard stepped in as the interim executive director when Liz Lucky resigned last month. Looking for a story to brighten your day? In Saturday's paper, read about how a random stranger saved the life of Warrensburg local Penny Monetti following a bicycle accident.
To me, the greatest takeaway for me was the fact that he was a good Samaritan that saw an accident, proactively got out of his car, called 911, knew it was bad, and then took action to save my wife's life. I mean, she couldn't breathe, and he had to help, So I'm so thankful that there was someone that was willing to get out of their comfort zone to help someone. And to me, that's the most important part of the story. My wife would have died.
In sports, the Central Missouri Mules took on the Fort Hays State Tigers Thursday in the Mules home opener. The Mules offense was flowing and the defense was stingy early on. The Mules jumped out to a 14-0 lead thanks to two connections from Garrett Fugate to Jalen Zachary. The Tigers got on the board early in the second quarter to make it 14-7, but the Mules answered with a field goal to make it 17-7. The Mules piled it on with two more touchdowns and held off a late rush by the Tigers as they went on to win 34-17 to move to 2-0 on the season. Despite the big win, the team says there is still room for improvement, including ball security. The team fumbled the ball 6 times, but only lost it twice.
It was really humid out here. The ball was wet a lot, but that's not an excuse. We have got to get rid of that problem. We scored 34 points. It could have easily been 60, and but that's a good thing. We got the win, and we can go back, watch the film, correct what we did wrong, and get better for next week. Try to go 1-0 next week.
And we just got to stay aggressive. But the tendency, particularly as a coach, is you start turning over and you start getting more conservative. But we just told the kids that we were just going to keep doing what we were doing, and they got to figure it out. I mean, you can't go out there and hang on the ball for them, and nobody plans on doing that. But at the same time, it's there's probably a few of those that we could have avoided tonight.
In high school football, Crest Ridge remained undefeated, beating Lone Jack 54-14 last week. After the game, head coach Chris Cavanaugh talked about the upcoming challenges the Cougars will face the rest of the season, including their game tonight.
Pretty good night for us. Still some things that we've got to improve on to beat the better teams on our schedule, which we're going to see them back-to-back, week 5 and week 6. Big challenge next week with Ork coming to town. It's homecoming. Ork is a much improved team from recent seasons. We need to clean some things up so we can have another good night against them next week.
Do note, the game tonight is moved to 5 p.m. and the homecoming festivities are postponed until Friday, September 23rd versus St. Paul Lutheran. The Warrensburg Tigers are also at home this week as they look to rebound from a 26-6 loss to Smith Cotton last week. The Tigers welcomed the Odessa Bulldogs to town for a 7 o'clock kickoff. Before we go, check out the Saturday Star Standout to hear about a young athlete who grew into her own during a time of difficulty. That's all we have for you now. Find more news and feature stories in Saturday's Daily Star Journal. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.